So, Chapter 11 of The Mandalorian just premiered on Disney Plus, and me and Allie we need to talk about this episode. Allie, as the person who is new to The Mandalorian, not new to Star Wars, but new to Mandalorian, what did you think of the episode?
I I was impressed. We didn't cover last week's episode. As I'm sure you guys are gonna point out. What happened in episode 2? Oh.
By the time we got to watch it and everything, it was so late that we just felt like it wasn't a
Yeah.
necessity to upload it.
But with that being said, I enjoyed it more than I did last week's episode. Last week's episode, eh.
It was good. It was good.
It was good. It was good. It was just eh. Whereas this episode, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. They brought back the Empire and like stormtroopers, and I was all for it. Like that, a whole flashback of my whole childhood just came to me of like watching Star Wars movies with my dad and seeing the Empire and the gray suits and everything. It was just so cool, and I loved even the backstory with like the Mandalorian and like what you were saying about like how it's kind of like religious groups in a way, like splitting off. Like it's a cool concept, and it's making it more realistic, I think, so to speak. Whereas like it's relatable.
Yeah, and that was one thing they introduced this episode was a new set of Mandalorians, who takes off their mask, on the regular. We got more FaceTime from them, than anything, and
Yeah, which is not something that he condones at all. He's like,
no,
that's not a Mandalorian thing.
yeah, and they're like, well, that section is from a cult that split off, and that they're trying to like believe in like the old like original ways of Mandalorian, but that's not how we do. And like you have one that is the last of their lineage, and you just all these different aspects that you're adding into this story that makes it more complex but intriguing and interesting at the exact same time. Um, and just that Mando had to help them on their mission before telling them where the Jedi is, who is the character from the Clone Wars, which I am horrible at pronouncing their name, so it's just the girl with like I can't pronounce their name, and I
Is
can't
it the
think of
blue?
yeah
The
I can't,
blue hair, like
yeah, it's the
bluish
two.
alien.
Yeah, and
Yeah, with the like, yeah.
I can't think of the name of the species either.
I can't either, and I can tell you exactly what she looks like. I can't tell you her name or anything else.
They said it, I
So,
just can't pronounce it. But I'm really intrigued because you now have characters from animated shows going to make a live action appearance, and that's really interesting and just really fantastic. I do have to say, props to the Bryce Dallas Howard who directed this episode, because this episode had a level of cinematography that the previous two has not had. This felt more movie quality than
oh,
ever.
yeah, like it was. We were saying that it was even better than the movies.
Yeah,
I mean, well, not the original, but like the newer movies,
yeah.
and by far, like it's just impressive.
Not
Um,
and it's not just like special effects and everything like that. Just visuals in
no,
general are fantastic and a real step up. Like we said, they were a step up with the first episode, but this episode it was a step up from that. Um, Overall, fantastic done there, and just her directing ability is great. Like followed in her dad's footsteps with directing. She's really good. If you don't know who Bryce Dallas Howard is, she is the woman in the Jurassic
Claire
World.
from Jurassic World.
Yes. And who is fantastic in that, and I love her character in that, and just her directing ability here was just as good.
It was fantastic.
Um I Baby Yoda was adorable as always. You had
I wish there was more Baby Yoda moments where I could be like, oh, and cry over, but
the thing
I'm
is,
not mad that there wasn't.
yeah, like Baby Yoda's a standout. But this episode, when Baby Yoda was getting babysat during the Mandalorian's mission, but you didn't really miss Baby Yoda during that time. Like the mission was so intriguing and interesting that you didn't really care. Like you got some flashbacks to Baby Yoda or with the little gecko people, but like it didn't really matter.
Yeah, and yeah, I liked that, like, you know, he was being babysat and he was like, I don't know if he was developing so much a bond or was thinking about eating their children. I'm not really sure what that whole thing was, but it was really kind of cute to see.
Yes.
Baby Yoda is just, it's why I'm here.
So,
but
that's how I got Allie to watch the show. Was I was like, Baby Yoda.
One word, Baby Yoda. Well, it's 2 words, but you know.
But if we keep having episodes like this, like the Baby Yoda part is just gonna be like second fiddle.
But yeah, it's gonna definitely be second fiddle if they keep up this height of the way they're going, and I can see myself becoming a really, really big fan of this and getting really back into Star Wars. And there's been a time in my life where I stopped being so into Star Wars. That's when the newer movies came out. I stopped being a really big fan. I was way into it when I was a kid, and then like the newer movies came in, and I was like,
yeah.
But like this is like hands down. I recommend it to anyone who is not a fan of the newer movies, but loves the franchise, and still wants to like have something new from Star Wars. I definitely recommend it.
So, what would your rating for this episode be?
I definitely give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I mean it's pretty high rating overall. Just because I thought the cinematography, the directing was fantastic. And you know, I was really intrigued with the story itself. And there wasn't a moment where I felt like it was boring.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you know, so far none of the episodes have been boring per se, but sometimes, like, they can get a little bit like, all right, same old, but this was new, kind of exciting stuff, different take on it, not focusing so much on Baby Yoda, but the Mandalorian too. And I mean, you named a show after it, so I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9, okay.
Mainly because everything from beginning of the episode to end, when Mandalorian is crashing at the very beginning, when he goes on that cargo ship and they knock Baby Yoda instantly into the pit.
Oh my god, that whole scene.
Fight scenes, just the mission, Baby Yoda, the comedy, everything about this episode was just fantastic. And like, I really had to think hard on that 9 because like I don't want to give a rating that high too soon.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel about it, is like I don't want to give it this huge high rating quite yet, because there's going to be more to this series, and I want to see
where it goes,
and you know, but so I'm gonna be a little bit hard when it comes to ratings, because I feel like I've messed up when it comes to like our Scooby-Doo stuff, where I've given it really high ratings and then it's just disappointed me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super excited to see where this series goes and next episode and what happens.
It's going to be interesting. We promise we will get all the episodes reviewed other than episode 2 out at least within the day. So at least by Saturday morning, we will have the episodes reviews out. Sometimes Fridays can be hectic, so that's sort of why this is coming out on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's it's difficult because we do stream Tuesday through Sunday typically.
Yeah.
And it's we don't mean to neglect it, but work has also been a bit of a hectic life for the two of us, but definitely hit that subscribe button.
We
follow us on Discord and all that
and
good
Twitch.
shit.
Link to
and
those.
Twitch.
Link to those are in the description below. But we would love to know what you thought of this episode. What were your favorite parts? What did you have a least favorite part about this episode? That's probably a good question. Was there any part that disappointed you? And overall, what are you thinking about the season so far now that we're 3 episodes in? And like Ali said, hit the subscribe button, follow us on Twitch, Discord, whatever. Link to those are in the description below. And like always, we'll see you in the next one. Later.